LGBT must be stopped once again. For those of you that remember, around the end of last year, I did a video reviewing some of CBR's finest JoJo articles. And for those of you guys that don't remember, CBR is pretty much just pop culture journalism, publishing articles every hour of every day of all things that they describe as nerd culture. So you have like anime, manga, movies, comics, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But of course, they're notorious for having the most nuclear JoJo takes of all time. And honestly, a lot of their content is just fishing for hate clicks, but I've taken the bait once again. And not because I want to, but because for the past 9 months, pretty much, maybe 10, since the first CBR video, you guys have been asking me to review some of the most outlandish articles that they published since then. So I'm trying not to feed into the hate, but this is all for fun, and I just want to see what sort of takes CBR has. Maybe their tastes have evolved over the past 9 months, and maybe they've grown to appreciate JoJo for what it is and not just hate it for pretty much everything. But I highly doubt that. So let's get into CBR must be stopped again. Hello everyone, I'm your host Xforts, and let's go on this wonderful journey again. I'm pretty sure I got some gray hairs from the last episode of this, so hopefully it goes a little bit better. Probably not, because the first article we're going to be starting with is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Top 10 stands that were used in the stupidest ways possible. Alright CBR, let's see what you got for us today. Number 10, Star Platinum drawing a picture. Okay. Star Platinum is a stand of Jotaro Kujo, who is the third protagonist of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Thank you for the facts, CBR, I appreciate it. Because he's the main character, it can be expected that his stand is pretty impressive. Strong, fast, with extraordinary precision. It's this precision used for a pretty dumb purpose. Was it pretty dumb, CBR? Let's finish what they have to say. Jotaro, let's zoom in on that right there. Jotaro, who proofreads these articles, man, receives a grainy, low-res photo of an Egyptian fly, and he has Star Platinum redraw the fly in a photorealistic illustration, which is pretty silly thing to do with a super powerful stand. All right, I can see where this is going. So again, guys, the article is powerful stands that were used in stupid ways. Well, I don't think it was that stupid, CBR. I feel like I'm going to be disagreeing with whoever wrote this article a lot today. Okay, so the reason why Jotaro drew that fly, it was actually very smart of him, because his stand, like they said in the article, was a very precise stand, very high precision, and they had that low-res photo, and they had to identify where Dio was so they could go track him and defeat him. And the only stand that was powerful enough and capable enough to locate Dio was Star Platinum by using its precise eyesight and its photorealistic, fast-moving hands. Very powerful stuff, by the way. I mean, this is one of the this list should be called top 10 stands used in the smartest way possible, because when Jotaro was able to draw that fly, I believe it was Avdol or Kakyoin that was able to identify it, and then they found out that Dio was in Egypt, a specific part of Egypt, Cairo, and they went on their journey. So number 10, CBR, unfortunate. It's already a bust, because that's a very smart way a character used to stand. Number 9, Hermit Purple playing video games. I feel like I don't even need to read the text, because I kind of see where they're going with this. Like during the Derby arcs, you know, Joseph has this stand Hermit Purple, and he used it to play video games. I feel like what happened with this article so far, although I'm only on 2 out of 10, kinda, is that they read the wiki of what the stand was capable of doing, and then they just went through the anime and saw clips of what the stand was actually doing, and they were like, oh, that isn't what was in the stand's wiki description. That's a stupid way to use the stand, when in the context of the series, it's actually like they're using their stand in super clever ways. So I kind of feel like that's what's going on in this article right now. So continuing on, we have Tower of Grey writing words. I'll give the author the benefit of the doubt, because I don't even remember that. Number 7, Strength turning into a boat. Okay. The author's winning me over a little bit. Some of these are pretty stupid things, although I guess that was the point of Strength, to trap the Gain inside of this giant boat where he was able to control every element of it, which did turn into like a really big horror aesthetic throughout that arc, which was actually pretty nice, although I wasn't really a fan of the stand at all. But yeah, once you find out by the end of the arc that's like, oh, the entire boat was the stand, it's like, all right, that's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. So number 6, we have Wheel of Fortune hijacking cars' radios. I believe that was simply just the way the stand was communicating to one another, like he hijacked the car that Jotaro was in, and he was able to threaten them in some way. So that's not really a stupid thing, that's just kind of the stand's ability. Number 5, Justice disguising a metal fence as JoJo's car. And I love in the article how they always refer to a JoJo as JoJo, which not a lot of people in the community do that. It's just kind of a thing that's in the context of a manga where the characters will call, usually it's not even in the context of the manga, usually within the first like chapter or two of a part, the main protagonist will get called JoJo because it's just kind of a running theme within the series, but no one actually refers to a character as JoJo in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We call them by their name because everyone's JoJo, so how do we know who he's talking about? Because this could be Jotaro or Joseph here. I don't remember that. When the hell did Justice disguise a metal fence as Jotaro's car? All right, author, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt on that one as well because I don't remember it. The sun destroying JoJo's binoculars. I'd say this one is a bust as well. They were using the binoculars to try to see what was up, so the sun destroyed them in order to protect himself, because obviously the way that it was working, Arabia Fats was inside that little box with a mirror on it, so if they were using binoculars to look very precisely, that would have given away his position, so it makes sense why he would have wanted to destroy the binoculars. Number 3, best at magnetism. I gotta read what the text is here. So Bastet's ability is pretty powerful and destructive, and it can certainly kill people pretty easily, but overall, it's a pretty dumb, weird ability that looks stupid about every time it's used. So once again, guys, the article is called Top 10 Powerful Stands That Use Their Abilities in Stupid Ways. But as we're getting down the list on this article, it's pretty much just turned into stupid stands, or stands this guy doesn't like, because it's like, Bastet, magnetism. What do you mean used in a stupid way? That's just the stand's ability. That's just what it does. This stand's ability, stupid, I guess is what we're going for. Number 2, Love Deluxe tying up a ton. Oh, that was actually a really cool scene. Why doesn't he like this? Love Deluxe is pretty similar to Hermit Purple. I repeat, Love Deluxe is pretty similar to Hermit Purple. Oh my god, CBR, can't make this shit up. I guess in the physical way that it's used, it can be similar, used as like vines or whatnot. It's a vine-like structure that can be used as a whip or to tie things up, but as opposed to actual vines, it's bound of Yukako's hair. Love Deluxe is actually incredibly dexterous and able to do pretty small attacks with strands. One such thing tying up a ton. We're not completely sure how useful it is, but it's certainly a thing Love Deluxe is capable of. I don't think that's a stupid use of the ability at all. I believe it was just Araki showing more horror elements within his manga, which he tends to do when a stand kind of does some one-off ability. It's usually just for the aesthetic factor, just to show us something that looks pretty horrifying. And I really like that. I believe it was when a woman was talking to Koichi and Yukako got super jealous of him and she went and tried to kill the girl. She tied her tongue up with her hair and then lit her on fire and everything. I really like that scene, and it definitely doesn't deserve to be number 2. You know, it'd be a fun video, guys, if we remade these lists but actually made them in a way that is accurate to the article's title and made like good lists, for example. And number 1, we have Octon Baby. And the stupidest thing this stand did apparently is turning a baby invisible. I hate to break it to you, man, but that's just what the stand does. That's literally just its ability. It's able to turn the baby invisible. So I guess number 1 isn't even related to the article title. It's just a stand he doesn't like. Okay, guys, article 1 complete. I know I'm being very critical of this article and I'm picking apart every little bit when I know the author probably didn't intend it to be like this, but it's all for the fun because I love hating on some good old CBR articles, guys. So let's get on to the next article. Okay, so next up is one that a lot of you guys sent me over on Twitter. By the way, you can follow my Twitter down below in the description. JoJo memes, other things, my cats. So this article was sent to me quite a lot, and a lot of people were sharing it. So JoJo, it might be the most nuclear take CBR has ever had before. JoJo, 5 characters who were wasted by Araki, and then in parentheses, 5 who shouldn't have existed. So that's pretty severe right there, saying that a character should be completely removed from the manga. So let's get into who CBR thinks were wasted and shouldn't have existed. Number 10, I should have seen it coming, Panacotta Fugo. Fugo is among the main characters of Golden Wind, albeit for a certain period of time. He was part of Bujarati's gang. His stand Purple Haze is one of the most terrifying stands in existence. It is armed with a lethal virus. Okay, wasting time, just explain the stand. Fugo, Araki had slightly different plans for him. He went his separate ways when he found out Bruno and Co. planned to kill Passione's boss. So as much as I would like to disagree with this article here, I really love Fugo as a character, and I don't believe he was wasted in a sense because we did see a good bit of him, and he got a lot of fights. You know, the Man in the Mirror fight. And I think that's about it. I say he has a lot of fights. I can only name one example, but I think Fugo served a pretty solid purpose in Golden Wind. And although it wasn't Araki's best writing when he just removed him from the manga, because it originally, if you guys don't know, this was explained in I believe, the author notes of Golden Wind's re-release in Japan, where Araki had stated that he had slightly different plans for Fugo's character. Originally, he wanted him to be a spy that was working for Diavolo, the boss, and at some point he would eventually betray the gang and get in a fight with, I believe it was Giorno he was supposed to do. And it was actually planned out really well, because if you guys remember in the Man in the Mirror arc, Giorno had become immune to the purple haze virus, and that was supposed to foreshadow that when Fugo was going to betray them, Giorno was going to be the one to kill Fugo, because he was already immune to it, which was like, if that was the way it planned out, that would have been super awesome. I would love to see a fan comic or something of how that actually was supposed to go. But yeah, that was just really cool writing that Araki had. But Araki was going through depression at the time. He was really sad. He also wrote that, and he said that he thought it would be too heavy on his heart and readers' hearts to make one of their good friends betray them. So that's an explanation, the canon explanation for why Fugo was removed from the story, if any of you guys didn't know, because I really hate that phrase that is around the community where it's like, Fugo was removed because he was too strong. It's like, every stand is too goddamn strong, man. We have Maiden having Gold Experience Requiem, but no, Purple Haze, that's where we draw the line. Too strong, gotta get him out. Just remove him from the series. So that's one of the reasons, or the main reason, why Fugo was removed. And to some extent, I can agree, potentially wasted potential, because we didn't get to see what originally was planned for him. So number 10, I can pretty much agree with. Number 9, Alessi shouldn't have existed. Okay, I like this list so far. This guy knows what he's talking about. Alessi was among some of my least minor villains within part 3. Definitely a really creepy stand with the whole peta themes going on through his character, which I don't think anyone was a fan of. Just really creepy stuff, although he did have the Shining reference, like the Here's Johnny. So yeah, let's just replace Alessi with someone else. Someone not as creepy, but pretty much give him the same stand. I'm good with that. Number 8. Oh yeah, this is nuclear, guys. Wasted. Koichi. Okay. Koichi is one of the main characters in Diamond is Unbreakable. He played a pivotal role in catching Kira the first time. I believe he played a pivotal role the second time as well, but whatever. Despite that tiny stature, Koichi is a dependable person. He also helped Josuke escape from Yuya's highway star. Koichi was also a part of Golden Wind, albeit in a somewhat of a cameo. Koichi could have been used in a better way. He definitely could have helped out Giorno in many future fights. So maybe they're specifically referring to him throughout part 5, which I would also disagree with, and just they show a picture of him in part 4. So Koichi is about the opposite of wasted potential if we're referring to him in the context of part 4, and again in part 5 as well. He played a perfect role being a mentor type character to Giorno and allowing him to push him forward into the next stage of his life, which was going against, infiltrating Passione, climbing the ranks of them, and then just kind of kickstarted him off into his journey and helped him out with the fight in Black Sabbath. And I don't understand why people have this mindset of like, when a character is introduced, they have to be on screen 100% of the time. So this saying Koichi definitely could have helped out Giorno in many future fights. Okay, let's say Koichi stayed. That means there would have been less screen time for some of the new characters like Abbacchio, Mista, Fugo, main character Giorno and Bruno and Narancha, the whole cast. So there was already so many main characters in part 5 that got their screen time shared among them. Koichi being in the part would have just made no sense for the story, and it would have just sucked screen time away from other great new characters. So number 8, completely disagree with. Koichi was so effective and he was perfectly used in part 4. Number 7, shouldn't exist, Anubis. Anubis was interesting, and it broke up the pacing of part 3 a little bit, because we had obviously the monotony. We covered it in our last video, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Stand user, stand user, stand user. Anubis was actually sort of interesting though, because it didn't have a conventional user. The user had died a long time ago, and the stand was bound to an object, which I actually really liked, and it was a good change of pace. And especially the fact that it was able to possess people, and it really switched things up when we had some of our main cast going up against each other, where we had Black Polnareff. That's just what he's called, guys. Araki just refers to him as Black Polnareff, and he goes up against, the Gainways all evil. So I thought Anubis was pretty good. Out of all the characters to pick not exist in part 3, I probably would have picked maybe Tower of Gray Fly, whatever that thing was, the one that we fought on the plane. I didn't really like him. I didn't really like Strength. There's a few I would have picked out before Anubis. I thought Anubis was pretty good. Number 6, wasted potential, Sandman, aka Soundman. So this is one that there's definitely debate with among the community. I I originally was disappointed with Sandman throughout Steel Ball Run when I first read it because I thought he was going to play a much bigger role within the story and be throughout the entire Steel Ball Run race. Because in the first page of the Steel Ball Run manga, Sandman is actually the first character we see, and he introduces us to the world of Steel Ball Run. Yeah, his character did change a little bit, and he was a little bit underwhelming. Number 5, shouldn't have existed, Cheap Trick. What? If we didn't have Cheap Trick, we never would have got the Rohan Thriller dance. Come on. Okay, Cheap Trick did last, I believe it was 2 episodes as it was mixed in with the July 15th arc, so it was spread out around 3 episodes, but I really enjoyed Cheap Trick. There was a good finale to it where we used the alleyway, which is a lot different from a lot of the ways the other stand battles ended, so I thought the end of Cheap Trick was cool. Rohan did the Thriller. We had the guy walking backwards. That was a really fun arc. I like that one. I think that one definitely deserves its place in the story. Number 4 of wasted potential is Kakyoin. As you guys know, I am not the biggest fan of Kakyoin. I do not think he is the best character by any means, nor the best character in part 3, not even close to a good character at that. Kakyoin haters furiously typing in the comments, X4, you piece of shit, I'm gonna tell you why Kakyoin's the best. Me personally, I don't think Kakyoin's that good of a character. He might as well be a cardboard cutout that the game just picks up and carries around with them as they go. Okay, that was kind of extreme. I'm being mean to Kakyoin. Sorry, Kakyoin, but I just don't like you that much. In my personal opinion, yeah, I think he could have been used in a much better way. He could have been more of a partner to Jotaro, and he could have got more development alongside Polnareff throughout Part 3. So, as much as I hate agreeing with CBR, Kakyoin, kind of a waste. Not so much of a waste, but a little bit of a waste. Number 3. Just like Koichi, another absolute nuclear take for CBR. Shouldn't exist, Yukiko, or Yukako, whichever pronunciation you prefer. Because you guys love to hate on me for my pronunciations. They say Yukiko shouldn't exist. All right, I actually got to read this. Yukiko started off a beautiful girl who had a crush on Koichi. When Koichi broke the news to Josuke and Okuyasu, they were understandably jealous of Koichi. Koichi. Oh my god, getting all the coochie. But then the jealousy turned into pity when they found out Yukako was driven by the desire to tame Koichi. Koichi was tortured in various ways, and a lot of fans believe she only existed for the sake of Koichi getting his stand. Okay, CBR. Let me calm down. Let me bring the blood pressure down for a second here. So a lot of characters are used for the sake of other characters. A lot of enemy stand users are used to evolve a character's stand or make them learn something and eventually be defeated. But I don't know how you could say Yukako shouldn't exist. She's a huge motivation for Koichi. She's his love interest, and she's kind of friends with the Gains, and she has this sort of evil good mix between her throughout the part. Sometimes she'll be batshit crazy after we defeat her. Sometimes she'll be good again. And I just love her yandere theme within JoJo because we don't really have much of that within JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I thought she was a great change of pace for minor villains. And Yukako's just goated, man. I don't know how you could say Yukako shouldn't exist. Yukako is a great character within part 4. Cool stand, cool personality. And I love that Koichi got a hot-ass girlfriend in the end and no one else did. So I thought I thought their dynamic was great. I don't know how you could say she shouldn't exist. Number 2, wasted potential, Okuyasu Nijimura. I think Okuyasu was great. I don't think he was wasted in any means whatsoever, as of course we have that balance between his character where everyone's like, he has one of the most powerful stands ever. And of course he does, but it's also intentionally that he is a little stupid, so he doesn't use his stand to his full potential, which is frustrating as a reader, but it also just adds into his personality and his charm a little bit. Because even Keicho is like, Okuyasu, don't you know, you have one of the strongest stands ever. If you just used your damn head, you could pop off with it. But I wouldn't say he was wasted to some extent. That's just how his character was established. If Okuyasu was a genius and he had that stand and he just never used it in a good way, yeah, potentially the stand ability was wasted. But it plays into his character, the reason why he didn't do it, which works, I suppose. But I guess there could be an argument made for Okuyasu not being as prevalent within the part, but Okuyasu is one of my favorite JoBros, and I think he did, I think part 4 is just an extremely well-balanced part when it comes to its main protagonist, side characters, minor villains, minor cast members. It's just, chef kiss. Perfect. Maybe not perfect, but pretty damn good. And for the number 1 slot of characters that shouldn't have existed, CBR goes with Hazamada. Why Hazamada? Why the hate for Hazamada? Out of all the characters in JoJo, all 300 of them, and all the shitty minor villains we have throughout the years, Hazamada. I'll give you that, CBR. He's not the best minor villain. He's not the best by any means, but okay, maybe CBR is winning me over here. I could see why Hazamada could be removed. But again, I don't know why Hazamada is specifically picked for this. You could have put like 15 names in a hat, picked one out, and that could have been number 1. So I guess it's fine for Hazamada, but Okay, yeah, Hazamada, take him out. And for our last list of the evening, we have JoJo, the 10 worst things Abbacchio ever did ranked.
You ready? Let's go!
Great list, CBR, great list. I have to agree because Abbacchio is one of, if not my favorite character in all of JoJo. And I'm not even going to go over the 10 things that they say Abbacchio did because in my heart, Abbacchio's perfect. He's the perfect man. Never did a single harm, never did a single thing wrong in his life. Although he was a cop, he did do dirty shit. He might have got his partner killed unintentionally, but no, Abbacchio's perfect, okay? Shut up, CBR. I love Abbacchio. But anyways, guys, that is going to be CBR Must Be Stopped again, going over some of the most nuclear takes they have had within the past 9 months since my previous video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys would like to see another one, if we want to keep taking that bait, clicking the hate articles and just feeding it. Although, obviously, we know the articles are stupid. I'm pretty sure the authors know the article's stupid as well. It's just good fun going over this and seeing, just kind of pretending that whoever wrote this is being serious about it. And who knows, maybe they are. Maybe that's the fun in it. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed. Trust me, it is very stressful going over these videos. That's why I had to space the last one out. I was in a 9-month recovery since the last video, working up the strength to do one. So like the video, guys. I'm going to need the support. It's like a spirit bomb of energy. Just go ahead and like it. Smash the like. Subscribe if you would like to see future JoJo videos. And follow me on Twitter down below at Julian Forts, where I post memes and all sorts of stuff. And I have some exciting announcements coming up real soon that you guys will see over on that page. And other than that, I will see you guys all in JoJoLand chapter 100 later this month, which is going to be super hype. And it's going to be a good time seeing what's going on in JoJoLand chapter 100. So until then, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.